Oh my god. Dude, I was listening to fucking System of a Down acapella tracks.
Oh shit.
So fucking funny. Yeah. Victorious Nilo.
Victorious Nilo.
Brand new spanking deal.
Brand new spanking deal.
Dude, you could have. We should make a bunch of drops with just that.
I know, dude. I didn't have time today, but I was like, this is definitely the new. It's gonna be
Brand new
all over this
spanking
episode.
deal.
Hanger sitting draped in oil, crying freedom. All right. Welcome back, everybody. Honestly, not even worried. Episode 47. If this is your first time joining us, I'm your host Nilo G, and I'm here with Blake Boo.
Welcome.
Welcome. Good to have you. Thank you guys for coming here. However way you got here, it's going to be a great episode.
I'll tell you what.
You know, we're going to catch up for a bit. We're going to talk. We're going to go over some TikTok comments that came in. We're going to watch this video.
So what next?
We're going to, well, but you could, if you're listening, it'll be just as good.
Really?
But it's about the end of the world, and we're going to do a new segment at the end, so stick around for that.
Listen.
It's going to be a brand new segment.
Oh, man.
We're gonna see how it goes, and if it's fun, we're going to keep doing it.
I'll do it.
If it's not fun, we're going to not keep doing it.
Oh, come on, man. Fuck off.
Thank you guys for being here.
Let me just say this.
I was driving to. I saw a chicken cross the road today.
Oh, did
Did you see? Go ahead.
it explain to you its reasoning to why it was doing that?
No, but I tried my best to find out because I've never seen like a riddle come alive like that
Yeah, dude.
in real life. I literally saw a chicken cross the road. It was so Nashville, dude. I was driving home right from Panera Bread, minding my own business as I'm wont to do, and I realized I'd forgotten to go to the grocery store like I wanted to.
You wanted to?
Because I was going to get the materials to make these Brecky Bickies. So I was like, I'll pull into the streets. I'll pop back out by the Kroger's. I'll come back, pull into the driveway with plenty of time for these Brecky Bickies, right? And I take one turn into the neighborhood, into the hood. And there she is, bro, smack dab in the middle of the way.
Oh, fuck.
Was she thick?
What?
I didn't know what it was at first.
Oh,
I was like, what the fuck kind of squirrel is that?
Squirrel with feathers?
A squirrel. Well, I mean, I just saw the shape, right?
Sure.
And the first thing I noticed was that it was like way bigger than like a normal squirrel. It was way bigger than a regulation squirrel.
Mm-hmm.
And so the sheer size was like a dead giveaway,
Yeah.
that something else was taking place, something a little bit more dastardly,
Sinister.
a little more, sinister, insidious, and on top of that, the way it moved was like way too smooth to be a squirrel. You know what I mean?
No.
Like that was red
yeah.
flag number 2.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Okay.
I've never seen a squirrel that had like a smooth stride like that.
Yeah, they're very panicky almost.
Exactly. They don't really mill about.
Stop. Yeah.
If anything, he feels more dangerous.
Yeah, they don't saunter. They don't do that shit.
Wandering around, having a
I mean, have you ever seen a squirrel try to just try to walk normal? They don't even know where to start.
No. They do not have the plot from the get-go.
Yeah, it's like when squirrels want to get somewhere, they kind of like it's like they skip a few frames between point A and point B.
Yes.
It's like
Exactly.
it's like how you see like a bug, and you're like, how am I not catching the in between here?
It's
Like, is there something?
Oh my god.
it's like they're always trying to escape something.
We need to get into the castle tonight.
It's
always,
even though
dude.
there's nothing chasing them, they have the fear that something is right on their tail.
Let's go.
They're the embodiment of like anxiety in a way. Like
yeah.
they kind of like, it's like they're trying to go from point A to point B,
Let's go.
but it's actually like they're just like they're trying to decide where point A is,
Let's go.
and they can't figure out where to start
Let's go.
until all of a sudden they're there.
All right.
I think a squirrel is actually the embodiment of what they should teach. You know when they taught you in school how to get away from an alligator?
Of course not.
Run. Or is that just a South thing? I feel like Chicago's kind of swampy.
I did not learn how to get away from an alligator in school, dude.
Well, we live near a swamp.
What grade is
so
this?
This is elementary school. This is like
I see.
the same thing. That's like you're gonna need this knowledge. You're gonna need to avoid quicksand. You're gonna need
we're doing
to
tornado drills in my neck of the woods.
Okay,
Did you guys have that?
hurricane drills.
Oh,
Yeah. Anyways, squirrel, chicken.
we didn't have those like water tornadoes, but yeah, the squirrel. It's almost like that's like how they got their name is the way they move. Squirrel,
Yeah.
squirrel.
Yeah.
What was I saying? So I pull in, and I'm like, what the fuck kind of squirrel is that? And
Let
then
me just
immediately
say
I'm like,
this.
all right, too big to be a squirrel. Number
Well,
one,
let me just say
Yeah.
this.
too smooth to be a squirrel. Number two, right?
And let me just say this as well.
And the third, reason that I could tell it wasn't a squirrel is that it was a chicken, and that it's all just happened like in an instant. I turn in, I'm like, what kind of squirrel? Oh, it's the kind of squirrel that's a chicken.
Yeah.
And so, this chicken crosses the road, and I kind of I look over to see where it's going, and there's 3 other chickens. They're all just loose chickens.
What up, Pricklicks?
And I'm like, I like stopped the car and I started filming it because I was like, I don't know what's going on here. I don't know if I'm going to need evidence that this happened. And
Where the fuck am I?
there was like 2 chickens and 2 roosters, and they kind of looked like they were hanging out, like they were about to go to Broadway and get drunk or something.
Yeah.
But
a little gangbang situation.
We ready to fuck or what?
a little gangbang situation. It's like, it's a very
2
Nashville
roosters,
story.
1 hen, baby.
You want me to?
And one of them,
I'll do
you could tell was kind of, one was kind of the alpha. I bet he was getting kind of both of those chickens,
Yeah.
those hens. And the other one was kind of a cook.
Yeah. I love an alpha that isn't afraid to just be like, yo,
I'll do it.
I'm an alpha
can come.
rooster, you're a beta rooster. I don't care. You and me are gonna hook up with this hen together. And that's fine.
Yeah.
Mama's
You're either
gonna
down-
pop out 2 eggs. 2 eggs at once.
That cluck cuck, dude.
That cluck cuck. We should open up a hot chicken restaurant
Cluck cucks.
called the Cluck Cucks, and you and I are the Cluck Cucks.
The cuck clucks.
It's hard to say.
It is hard to say. Cuck clucks.
Yeah.
Or cluck cucks. Yeah.
Cluck Cucks.
Yeah, we fucking
Cluck, we're the Cluck Schmucks.
we're a couple of cluck
Hey.
schmucks.
Hey,
Make
what's
chicken.
going on? Yeah.
He ate my fucking chicken.
Yeah.
So I should clarify. It was the first thing that crossed the road was a rooster.
Okay.
And so
okay.
it was kind of brown. And I think that kind of contributed to why I thought it was a squirrel, right?
Yeah.
Because I saw, and like squirrels and chickens have kind of like a similar side profile view, like it's got kind of they got the wave on top and then it like
Yeah.
tapers down.
Uh-huh.
It's like if you were to put both of them like behind a curtain and like shine a light from the back, you would get just 2 identical silhouettes, it'd be almost like a heart
Yeah.
shape, the wavy
Yeah.
and then the little feet at the bottom.
I can see that.
So I was like, that's a big ass squirrel.
Damn, well, somebody's not getting eggs today. Somebody fucked up. Somebody let those chickens loose. That's sad. That's sad as hell.
It seemed very intentional what they were doing. I mean, maybe they were planning it for a while, but yeah, it looked like they were going out on the town. So I rolled down the window. I was like, "You guys need a ride?"
Yeah.
They didn't respond.
Yeah, they don't. They're probably trained not to speak with strangers, but you know how dogs are able to get back to, they made a whole movie about it. This family moves across and then, the dogs
Yeah.
didn't take the hint that the family didn't want them and they followed the scent. But I'm wondering if
What movie is
chickens.
this?
It's that movie with the dog that is like, "Oh, Peter." He sounds like that.
Peter.
Yes.
It's called
Is that the plot?
Is that blood?
Homeward Bound. Thank you, Hannah.
Homeward Bound.
Homeward Bound. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Classic.
Peter.
And it's great. It's 2 dogs and a cat, and they're trying to get back. And so they're crossing roads left and right, And
Yeah.
if you were to ask them what they're doing, they're trying to get. He's trying to get back to Peter, that old ass dog. He's close.
Could they speak to like humans in that movie?
No,
Or
they
was
didn't
that-
break that line. It was just like
Okay.
narrating. They were
Yeah, we could hear what they're thinking and what they're saying
Yeah.
to each other.
There's a funny moment where you don't think that the old dog, it's not funny, it's sad, but you don't think the old dog's going to make it because the cat and then the younger dog get there and the kid's like, oh God, he was just too old. Son of a bitch wasn't ready for this world or something like that. And then the dog comes up and everybody's like, yeah.
Oh yeah, real funny, Blake.
Yeah. No, it's not funny, but it's just like,
They had lost all hope for the dog.
I'm just imagining the old dog heard that and was like, that's some bullshit, man. You got no faith in me.
He's like, I'm alive, motherfucker.
I'm fucking here. I'm just a few steps behind. I was enjoying the trip.
Yeah, I'm actually doing pretty well, dog.
I mean,
dogs call other dogs dog.
I think so, yeah. Dog.
Yeah, dog. What up, dog? Literally.
What up, dog? What up, dog?
Get back, you flea infested mongrel!
Yeah, man. Love it, though. Great film.
Great, wonderful flick.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so I these chickens, that's how I started my day. It was like one of those days where you kind of like, you see some glitches in the Matrix, like first thing in the morning. When I first went to Panera Bread, they had like, because I joined this thing that Panera's got going on right now. It's called the Sip Club. Have you heard of this?
Oh, is that like a free coffee every day or is it like 99 cents or something?
Yeah.
You can get a free drink every 2 hours.
Drinks on me.
Oh my God.
Come to the back.
Like anything, like coffee or like.
Drinks alive.
They have a selection, but you can have iced coffee, you can have hot coffee, you can have soda, you can have tea. There's like certain specialty ones that aren't on there, but I'm like, sign me up for the club, baby.
How much is it?
I think it's like $10 or something.
$10 a month?
Yeah.
Every 2 hours you can get a fucking drink?
Yeah, I've already gotten like 6 or 7. I've had it for like a week and a half.
Is it good iced coffee?
Not particularly, but you can get a big ass cup. You could get a big ass cup. You could take it home. That's what I did the first time. I got a really big cup, but I didn't need that much, so I just kept it in the fridge for the next day.
Ooh, yes.
They got I went milk? There. Well, if you have oat milk at home.
Oh, that's good. That's true. All right.
But they have almond milk and they have simple syrup. You might have to pay extra for the oat milk. They might keep that behind the counter, lock and key.
If you don't understand that,
But
then fuck off.
it's so easy. Like you could probably just go in and like take a cup and get your drink and they would never even check. But what you do is you go and they have like these self-service counters now. And it's almost like, kind of like you walk up and it's like kind of at this level. So you're kind of like doing like this.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see that? And
Yeah.
you're standing. It's almost like a podium, dude. And I felt like I was on like a game show because there's like a whole table with like people across from you and like 2 people next to you. I felt like I was on like Jeopardy. We were just like standing there getting our shit.
What is a large size?
Yeah, dude. Get us dill or no dill.
Dill or no dill?
With your sandwich. So I got the drink, and when I was getting my coffee, there was like a old lady like getting a soda next to like the iced coffee like canister.
Uh-huh.
And she was like kind of like low. And I was like, she's kind of like, her energy is kind of like taking up too much space in this area, I couldn't really get in. But I kind of like wiggle in next to her to get like a nice coffee. And she like looks over at me like this.
Oh, fuck. That's scary.
And I was like, what the fuck just happened? I unplugged my headphones.
That's, okay.
She looks up at me.
Dude, that's glitchy.
And I was like, what the hell? So I got out of that section real quick and went over to, because the iced coffee was over by the sodas, which was like on the other side of the store. And I go back to where I ordered because that's where they had like milk and stuff. And I wanted some almond milk. And I'm like, I like see that one. And she's like, it's like half and half. And I'm like, okay, that's not the one. And then like, I like blink and she's like all of a sudden right next to me.
Oh,
and
God.
She's like, is that the half and half right there? You need that? And I was like, no, it's you. And I go to get like the almond milk, and she's like, and then I look over and she's pouring half and half into the thing, and I'm like, oh, she works here.
Oh, okay. That's why
she was trying to be nice.
Got it.
But like she wasn't like didn't appear to be wearing any of the garb when she was.
Yeah.
It was alarming though. It was immediate glitch. And then I went home and I saw the chickens.
Damn, what's gonna happen next, dude? She's there. She's in the room right now. You walk out of your room, you just see her smiling at you. Bro, look beside you. Oh shit. You made me think of speaking of like kind of glitches in the Matrix, weird faces. The other night, we were walking home in our neighborhood and got a little eddy in our systems, and well, it was in Hannah's system. I was getting a little bit of secondhand eddy that night, but we're walking contact high, You know when you're like walking in a neighborhood and it's really quiet and like shadows start making you a little bit paranoid, because you're like, is somebody following me? I don't know what's going on, and so you just kind of, the paranoia just slowly builds. So we're walking back and we see this truck with like a covering on the front side, like it looks like there's a sheet to like block the passenger window for some reason.
Is it on the inside of the car or on top of the car? It's
on the inside of the car. And so there's like a sheet blocking, and I meant to say driver side. So I don't know why, but my like attention was like focused on it. And as I'm looking at the car, a car drives by, and so it lights up the passenger side. And there's just this fucking like something in the car that just looks like it's like sitting in the passenger seat like this. And I was like, oh! And then as I made that noise, Hannah looked over and saw it, and she was like, ah! And we just start like booking it, like walking even faster. It was so scary, dude.
Did you figure out what it was?
I think it was just like, you know how people just sometimes put like skeletons or like weird shit in their passenger seat and drive around?
Fuck that.
But like out of context and not in the daytime, when you see something like that, it was so fucking scary. And like the paranoia was already building. And so, yeah, it was a very slow reveal too. But yeah, the whole, we only had like 2 blocks left, but it was just like, oh, fuck. Like dude, everything we saw after that.
People put weird stuff in their cars, dude. I was at the grocery store one time and I walk up to a car that looked like Jenny's car, looked like our car. It looked like a Ford Fiesta. It might have been like a newer Ford Fiesta.
Mm-hmm.
And I like have my bags and I go to unlock the I like press unlock and I like look over into the back seat where I'm about to stash these groceries, and I just see like a life-size Thanos glove just chilling in the back seat, and I immediately was like, oh, that's not my car. And then like I didn't even process for a second, and I was like walking back, I was like, was that a Thanos glove?
It was it like this big too? Like large?
It was like
okay.
It was like Thanos in training. Like there was probably a couple Infinity Stones missing.
Got it. They're still looking.
Yeah, they're still looking.
Man, that's so random. Like, why the stuff people keep in cars is really funny to me.
Shit, did I ever talk about on on the pod the time I saw like 2 people at the grocery store wearing like related shirts, but they weren't with each other?
This sounds familiar, but I might need to know a little more.
Okay, I might have said it like to you guys in person, but
was it like I'm stupid, and they were like, oh shit.
Yes,
like something like that.
Yes. Oh fuck, what was it? Okay,
is that what it was?
It's similar to that. I was like at the self checkout, and it was like, you know when you go in the grocery store and immediately you get in and everything, you just lose all focus, and it's just like you go into another realm almost. It's just very hazy. You don't remember what you're doing.
Oh yeah.
I was in that kind of mind state, and it was later at night. And I go through the self-checkout. There's not many people in the store. And then as I'm leaving, I see somebody walking in, and they go to get a cart, like from right in the little, the foyer in between, like they got the 2 entrances kind of. And like the purgatory is where they keep the carts.
Yeah.
So she goes to get the cart, and she's wearing a shirt that says like, it says, rule number 1, I'm always right. And then she turns and gets to the cart, and I look at the back of her shirt. It says, Rule number 2, see front of shirt.
Okay.
And then a guy comes from the parking lot like a little bit afterwards, and he's walking up, and he's wearing a shirt that says, I think it says like, trust me, I'm right, or something like that. Like it might as well have said like, don't look at her shirt. God, I wish I wrote it. Maybe I wrote it down somewhere. But
Yeah, rule number 3, refer to my shirt first before referring to hers.
rule number 3, her shirt is obsolete. If that was true, that'd be rule number 1, fool.
Amendment to rule number 1. If I'm in same vicinity as her, my rule is bond.
Rule 1A.
Rule 1, yeah. Dude, people wear the fucking craziest shirts out in public, and it fully just, it blows my mind. I think Hannah and I saw this dude wearing a shirt at the mall, and he had his child with him, and it said something like it was seriously like only bastards and whores have tattoos. Like it was like it wasn't even like trying to be funny. It just straight up said like bastards and whores have tattoos.
It's just a straight up aggressive message, just straight up
and I was like,
violence.
Like, bro, you've got like a fucking 7-year-old with you, and you're wearing this to the mall with your 7-year-old and your wife, and you have a bat.
Oh, dude, I remember you telling me this.
It was just like, what the fuck does that even like? I almost wanted to see the back to like see a punchline, but it's
right,
like damn,
a sarcasm thing.
Yeah, it's like you chose to put that shirt on, and like, it's like, what the fuck, dude? That's so aggressive. Yeah,
I mean, there's, God.
Rule number 2, I'm a
consider
bastard.
me one of them.
Yeah.
Rule number 1, I'm a whore.
Yeah. Rule number 1.
I mean, consider me a tatted up bastard, baby. Let me show you this shirt, dude. That I keep saying, that I saw on Twitter that made me laugh. On the account, shirts that go hard.
What? Oh, man.
I have a bi-uncle, and he got me this shirt at Legoland.
Is that like trying to say bionicle?
Yeah, it's like a play on bionicle, and you're like, is it also your uncle's bisexual? Like,
yeah.
I have a bi-uncle, and he got me this shirt at Legoland.
That's fucking good, dude.
Did they make this? I don't know. Yeah. It's that bionicle font. You see that and you know exactly what it is.
Fuck, dude. I forgot about bionicles. North Korea. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Does that say crab ragoon whore? What does that say?
Let's say crab rangoon whore.
Oh my God, dude. Who drank Arnold Palmer?
Arnold Palmer.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool account. I think they sell a lot of these shirts too.
Yeah, this is...
I don't need sex. Crypto fucks me every day.
Yeah, wild ride. Oh my God, dude. Twitter goes so hard.
It does go hard, bro. What do you want to do first? Should we look at TikTok comments, or should we watch that video?
The video is a bit long, so I don't think we should necessarily watch it. It's like 18 minutes long. Did you watch it?
I kind of watched like the first minute.
So I think this is the guy's usual approach to things, is he has like kind of a positive messaging at the intro, and then he hooks you with like the negative statistics for 10 minutes, and then at the 2-minute end he's like, here are the criticisms though. They've got criticisms against this.
All right, well let's pop it on, and then we'll
give a little taste of it.
Yeah, and we'll delete it or whatever.
And this is for reference. I'm not sure what this video and this article was like, came out last year, but for some reason, recently people like, I feel like the New York Times or something was talking about it. Like it like resurfaced again this year. I don't know why. I mean, Maybe because of the war, but yeah.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people are kind of feeling that. You know, I kind of learned recently that like so many weird things. Like, did you know we're actually like more at risk of depopulation than overpopulation?
Yeah, that's one of the things in the video that he talks about. I didn't know that was a thing. Like, is that just the U.S. or is that everywhere?
It's everywhere. You know, like they're saying we're gonna hit a plateau with people.
He was saying, he says in the video that like this is bad because there's no one to like take care of the old people or something.
Okay, this is MIT has predicted that society will collapse in 2040. Let's just kind of chill and watch this.
In 1972, researchers at MIT concluded that society was on track to collapse by the year 2040. A follow-up study conducted by an analyst at KPMG found that we are ahead of schedule. Advanced human civilizations have existed for, at best, 10,000 years. In that time, many great empires rose from nothing and returned to nothing, leaving behind little more than artifacts and crumbling architecture. While it's hard for historians to definitively say what caused any of these particular collapses, the determining factors tend to fall into four broad categories: political issues, social and cultural issues, environmental issues, and of course the one that we're specifically interested in, economic issues.
Comets.
Asteroids. Yeah, the metaverse. Political. Okay, so we got politics, social and cultural. What's that mean? That's probably like depopulation and stuff.
Yeah.
Environment, that's like climate change.
I think issues that like divide people, maybe. Would that be political? I don't know.
That's what I'm wondering.
I think social and cultural is like, because would like abortion rights fall under like that's a political issue, isn't it? But it's also a social issue. Yeah,
these two are kind of intermingly there.
Yeah.
Environmental. Okay.
If you believe in that sort of thing.
Any civilization that has been reduced to little more than an entry into a textbook fell through some combination of these four factors.
Butt plugs.
Some were almost instantaneous. The great city of Pompeii succumbing to the eruption of Mount Vesuvius. Some took a few weeks. The Aztec Empire collapsed after 93 days of resistance against the Spanish. And some took centuries. 300 years separated the height of the Roman Empire with its eventual collapse. Our modern civilization is the greatest ever known, hundreds of thousands of times wealthier and more advanced than even the most massive empires of history could have imagined. If you are watching this video, you have access to the internet. If you have access to the internet, you have access to a source of knowledge that scholars and kings could not have dreamt of just 100 years ago. The same is true for other modern luxuries that we take for granted: climate control, worldwide travel, cheap and effective clothing, medicine, instantaneous communication, plentiful and safe food, water on tap, and even little luxuries like being able to listen to your favourite song pretty much whenever you feel like it. The question I get asked a lot is, who is the richest person in here?
Even the little things like brass section.
Even the little things like listening to a horn section at an orchestra room.
Even the tiniest little details like the bugle harmonic.
History. The answer? Elon Musk. Or it was about a week ago when he was worth more than $270 billion. That might have changed depending on when you actually watch this video. Oh, but what about Rockefeller, the Rothschilds, the Romanovs, or even this Mansa Musa fella that people keep on bringing up? What about them?
Dude, everywhere I turn, it's like Mansa Musa. You know?
Yeah, dude. Mansa Musa say, Mama say, Mama Musa.
Mansa Musa.
Their time, but their time was one of almost universal poverty.
The fuck is that?
Despite their relative wealth, they couldn't dream of all the amenities that you think nothing of.
Right.
Let me tell you, if I had the choice between my modern rented 2-bedroom apartment and a sprawling 15th century French palace with no air conditioning, no plumbing, and no food that wouldn't give me cholera, I would take the apartment 10 times out of 10, and you are a fool if you wouldn't do the same.
All right.
The best part is I haven't even mentioned war yet. Despite what most people might think based on their diet of cable news on the front page of Reddit, we are living through one of the most peaceful periods in human history ever. Overwhelmingly, this has all been thanks to a combination of technology, education, and global cooperation. Even nations that have resentful hostilities bubbling away beneath the surface are more dependent on one another today than even the closest of allies were back in the time of Napoleon. Why get hostile when you can get rich? It sounds vapid, but it's a good thing, albeit a fickle one. Comparing our modern global economy to even the greatest empires throughout history is like comparing a jet engine to a donkey. That's not hyperbole, it's how far ahead we are today. But
Dude, of course he chose donkey as an animal. Like, I was so Australian. What?
Yeah,
I need an animal for this metaphor, mate. What should I do?
Kangaroo?
Kango?
Nah.
A kango? Nah.
Nah, mate. They don't do anything for us. Besides
Throw out
kick
a
us when
couple.
we're
Throw out
skydiving.
a couple more. Throw out a couple more.
Rooster.
Rooster, no. No. Chicken, no.
Horse.
Horse? Closer.
Okay.
But what about something weird like a flamingo? Like a
They don't
mingo?
really do much, mate.
What about a dingo?
I like the D. The D sounds nice.
The dingo? Wait. What about a boa? What about a boa constrictor?
I buy it.
What about a boa constrictor?
I don't know, mate.
Snake?
Snake? Alligator?
It's like an alligator. It's like a dumb animal. Donkey.
A donkey.
A donkey. It hits your D criteria.
That's what I like.
You
That's
like
what I'll
the
take
D.
it.
All right.
Hard-working creature.
But definitely later we'll have to use a boa. Or
A
no.
boa. Aye.
Armadillo. Or no.
Do they have armadillos in Australia?
No, bro. No armadillos. Oh, no, bro. No armadillos.
Oh, no.
this is actually the problem. Sure, a jet engine is faster and more powerful than a donkey, but it's less resilient.
Than an armadillo.
One tiny flaw in its incredibly complex network of interdependent components could render the whole thing useless.
Yeah.
What's worse is that it moves so fast and flies so high that even the slightest hiccup becomes catastrophic. Most of us alive today, and especially those of us sitting at home watching internet videos on our smartphones, would not know how to survive very long if we didn't have food within easy reach, sometimes literally delivered to our door. But I'm getting ahead of myself, and probably starting to sound like some kind of deranged doomsday prepper screaming the end is nigh, so let's break down exactly how this MIT study predicted that society would collapse.
Okay, I actually do want to hear
What
this.
measurable metrics was MIT looking at to determine that the world was going in a good or a bad direction? What did these metrics tell us about the way our society would supposedly break down? And finally, is the fact that this report is ahead of schedule actually something to be worried about? Or is this all just the case of too much weight being given to statistical correlations? This video is brought to you by Skillshare. Thanks to Skillshare, you can learn new skills like drawing,
Skillshare.
cooking, and even how not to suck at speaking Australian. A 12-minute course that I created to help
that's
you
sick.
decipher the Aussie lexicon.
I might need that course.
Here's a quick
we might have to
preview.
take that.
Why does this Australian tribe assign so many nicknames to common nouns? Words like brekkie, chewy,
Hey,
and stubby.
Brekkie.
If all of this sounds
Stubby.
intimidating,
Brekkie.
don't worry. Together,
Stubby.
we will decipher
Metric number 1. Beer is tasting worse than ever.
It's kind of stubby. It's a bit stubby. That's kind
Beer's
of Britishy.
tasting
Dude,
stubby.
I think he actually has that course.
Yeah.
I think he teaches that course.
Okay, so the MIT study, specifically titled The Limits to Growth, set out to primarily explore if our current usage of the world's resources was sustainable. Spoiler alert, it wasn't. The study was actually one of the first economic studies ever to use computers sporting dynamic systematic models. I am not a computer scientist, so there are plenty of people who could explain what system dynamics are far better than I could, but in brief, it's basically a piece of software that attempts to replicate the workings of complex real-life systems by replicating them in the software. It sounds very familiar to us today, but remember, this was taking place back in the 60s and the 70s, where computers looked like this and had about as much processing power as your kettle. Despite these limitations, the MIT team eventually created World 3, which was a computer model for the entire global economy. This piece of software modelled everything from variable population growth to industrial capacity. It also crucially modelled how everything would interact with one another. For example, a large population is naturally going to require more resources. More food, more water, more homes, more of everything. But a larger population will also naturally lead to more innovation. We have a much better chance of finding a Tesla, Da Vinci, Haber, Bosch or Whittle with a population of 8 billion than we do with a population of 2 billion, which is where the world was 100 years ago. It's a common joke amongst macroeconomists that every change you make to the economy changes at least 3 other things. Sometimes
Why is
we
that a
pave over
joke?
this issue
Yeah, what
by
a common
assuming
joke.
ceteris
Oh, man.
paribus, or
That's-
all
it's
other
fucking
things being equal in
hilarious.
our models.
Me and other economists talk about this like chain reaction, like one causes a change in three thing, and we laugh and laugh and laugh.
Fucking
right away.
howl, dude.
Oh my god! This
funny
guy
as
said this
shit.
knee slapper the other day.
I'm like, when do facts become funny? Because to me, I'm like, that's fucking wild. And I'm just imagining getting to the point in economics where I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
The Federal Reserve did what?
Hold that in. You've got to tell that to John down the fly. Oh my god. I wonder if we showed Kirk this video, if he would laugh, because didn't he study economics?
Yeah. So did,
This economic
so did
assumption is great
Oh,
for
yeah.
looking at cause-effect
probably
in
both laugh.
isolation. For example, a soda tax increases the price of, and therefore reduces the demand for, sugary beverages, all other things being equal. But this is the real world. Nothing ever remains the same just because it's easier to model that way. Predicting the future is extremely hard at the best of times, and almost impossible if you don't account for almost every variable. And that's what World 3 attempted to do.
Wow, that's-
The World 3 program had systems for modelling everything from birth rates to farming technology. The idea was that all of these variables were very important to maintaining the modern lifestyles that we enjoy today, but because they interact with one another, they were prone to feedback loops.
So they essentially
the
were
idea
like,
of a feedback
let's try to organize everything.
Yeah. Which part of me wonders, and I don't know if he addressed this at the end of the video, but like, did they do like a follow-up analysis like now, to predict when the
Right.
world would collapse? And maybe they did, and that's like the critiques he talks about at the end. But
Yeah, because that's
'Cause-
yeah. I now I am curious how they get to this 2040 thing.
yeah, because I feel like you would, with better computing software, you'd be like, all right, let me plug in these same things that they analyze and see if anything has changed with like fucking modern technology that can probably do what they did on like a MacBook Pro.
Oh my god! All right, we're gonna end up watching this whole thing. That's okay.
Yeah. I'm sure
just
it's
cut it.
interesting to people.
loop actually comes
Yeah.
from musical performances. If you have ever held a microphone up to a loudspeaker, you will know the horrible high-pitched sound that comes out of it. That's because the
Feedback.
microphone is hearing a loud noise, it is then telling the speaker to amplify and play that loud noise even louder, only for that new loud noise to be picked up by the microphone all over again. The same kind of effect can happen in economies. For example, declining birth rates can lead to an ageing population. An ageing population will put more financial pressure on younger workers to care for the elderly, either directly by caring for them at home or indirectly through taxes to fund pension schemes and aged care. This financial pressure will mean younger workers have less time and less agreeable conditions to make a family of their own, and you are left with further declining birth rates. This is actually a very important example as it pertains to the MIT study. You see, while the study accounted for hundreds of variables in its computer-generated model of the global economy, it was actually only interested in tracking 5 of them. These were population, industrial output, food production, available resources, and pollution. It's worth remembering that this report was published in 1972, before climate change was more than a blip on the scientific community's radar and certainly far from being the widely recognised issue it is today. Chances are, if the paper was replicated today, it would also include average global temperatures, but it wasn't, so it didn't.
Why are these
Now,
captions
despite
so
that,
fucking
you should be
massive?
able to see that all of
Are they big on your? Why are they so big?
Maybe
these individual factors are very important to how we live and work in the world today. But perhaps what is more important is, again, how they end up interacting with one another. Let's go back to the economist's safe space for a second and assume that all other things are equal outside of food and population. Now, these variables are obviously dependent on one another. If one moves, the other will too, all other things being equal. But what sounds like a more concerning order of events? A decline in population leading to a decline in food production, or a decline in food production leading to a decline in population?
Option 2.
Yeah, obviously 2 very different scenarios right there. Okay, so now that we understand how to interpret the data generated by this report, what did it actually say? Well, like good economists, the researchers kind of hedged their bets. Predicting the future exactly is a fool's errand. They could have published their paper one day before a design for a commercially viable fusion reactor was developed, and researchers realised this, so what they did instead is they tweaked the initial conditions and ran the simulation over and over again. In some simulations, they would assume that innovation remains at a constant pace and worker productivity continues to improve at the rate it currently has been. In other simulations, they would assume that technological innovation continues to compound on itself, meaning things like harvesting resources from space or growing food in laboratories becomes possible, and then in other simulations, they would assume that technological progress would slowly plateau. A quick side note is that a technological plateau might not sound very realistic to us today, but that's only because we have grown up in a time of constant innovation. Moore's Law is a great example of this. For the past 5 decades, computing power has roughly doubled every 2 years, but we are starting to reach the physical limits of how many transistors we can pack onto a microchip. Promising technologies like quantum computing may solve this issue and let us continue to gain access to even more computing power, but then again, it may not. And that's just one example. A lot of technological innovation these days is just major companies finding new and innovative ways for you to waste your time consuming advertiser content. And yes, I realise the irony that I am part of the problem here, but here you go, have an ad.
You gotta get ad blocker on your computer, dog.
Yeah, you're probably right. You're definitely right.
The good little
I mean,
consumer
I guess
you
it's good
are.
because
Anyway,
it gives them money.
technological innovation was just one variable the researchers of this report tweaked. They also ran models that assumed lower birth rates, higher rates of recycling, more resource discoveries, greater levels of global trade, reduced levels of global trade. They basically tried to account for every outcome that would be possible with a realistic combination of factors in this economic model. They then averaged out the trajectories of 5 crucial factors to determine where humanity would end up. As you would suspect from a range of models with variables changed up every time, they got a range of different results. But they all sort of had one thing in common. They all showed a significant decline around the year 2040. Of course, it's impossible to address all of the thousands of potential outcomes that were modelled, but the researchers really focused on a few that fell well within the standard deviation of all of these potential outcomes. The first and potentially most optimistic outcome was called the comprehensive technology scenario. This was a model where we continue to live like we currently do today, but technology progressed fast enough to ensure that our productive capacity was able to keep up with the new people that needed to be fed and housed and clothed. The model still predicts a significant drop in food production, brought about primarily due to pollution of waterways and the misuse of arable land, but that is addressed through technological innovation. The population does start to plateau around the year 2040, but that's due to the natural tendency of wealthier, more urban populations to have less children, rather than people starving to death due to lack of food. In this model, industrial output does peak and then decline, which would normally indicate lower living standards. But this is almost entirely contradicted by the more efficient use of the goods that we do have. If tomorrow technology got to such a point where we had self-driving cars, then the need for individual car ownership would be greatly reduced. This would likely lead to a fall in industrial output, but it's not like we would be poorer because of this. It's just that suddenly a car that used to service only one household can now be efficiently shared amongst dozens. This is actually what the World Economic Forum was talking about when they famously said that you will own nothing and be happy about it. They either just really don't understand how to communicate with the general public, or they secretly enjoy making people angry. The more efficient use of resources would also reduce pollution and ensure that raw materials are never reduced to nothing. This wouldn't be a totally terrible outcome, and yeah, we might not continue to see the same exponential growth in living standards that we have seen over the past 100 years or so, but it also wouldn't be a societal collapse either. If you don't feel comfortable relying on some new wave of technological innovation to save us all, then the researchers who published this report have an alternative. The so-called stabilised world scenario is what would happen if the world just maintained its current rate of innovation, while also investing heavily into things like renewable energy sources and materials recycling processes. Again, this model was made before climate change was considered a factor, so when we are talking about recycling and renewables, we are looking at it purely through the lens of resource depletion and local pollution, while totally disregarding other externalities like carbon emissions. This stabilised world scenario looks very similar in many ways to the comprehensive technology outcome that we explored earlier. The main difference is an almost voluntary reduction in industrial output, it before it creates problems like food shortages and excessive pollution. Of all of the models based on all the different combinations of variables, this is what the researchers identified as the most optimistic. Again, most optimistic barring some crazy unforeseen technological development that radically reshapes how we run our economies. This could happen, and hopefully it will, but it's hard to make concrete plans for technologies that we can't conceive of yet, outside of maybe making a spiritual sacrifice to Daddy Elon. Can't hurt. Anyway, the bad news is that while the original study in 1972 thought this could be something that we could realistically work towards, the timeline of all the captured variables in this outcome has the least closest fit to our current reality, as explored by the 2021 follow-up study. Guy Harrington's study instead suggests that the path that we are actually on best represents what the 1972 researchers dubbed the business as usual 2 scenario, and that's not good. This is a model that highlights a very clear collapse. Pollution continues to increase exponentially, and things like recycling of common materials never become economically viable or subsidised widely enough. Industrial output does reach a higher level than in all of the other possible scenarios, but that is about where the good news ends. A drop in food production causes massively declining birth rates in rich countries and famines in poor countries. The lack of young workers reduces industrial output, which further hinders economic prosperity. Easily accessible resources also dwindle away, which again further reduces industrial output and economic prosperity. By all accounts, this is what we would consider a complete collapse of society.
Yeah, that one feels that one feels like it's happening.
Well, collapse just means decline. It's not like, I guess when I first saw this, I was like, or when I first thought about it, I was like, so does collapse mean like done? Like done. It's like all done. Yeah. But it's more like it's kind of like what he was talking about with like the Roman Empire, where it was like that took 300 years from the height. So like we get to the height and then it just, for 300 years, it declines kind of thing. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's more so what he means by like 2040, maybe like 20. Yeah, is that what you think too, or am I wrong on that?
I think you're right. It seems like kind of like a steeper drop off, though. Like at least by what they're saying here. Either way, it doesn't sound good.
No, I mean I'm trying to sugarcoat it a little bit because it sounds like everybody gets fucked, and like more so the poorer countries get super fucked, which is.
Why do they always send the poor, dude?
I don't know, dude.
Yeah, it's gonna be hellish no matter what. It seems like the last one they were saying just feels like, I know like I think they people are saying that how every generation kind of feels like the world is ending, but like this time there's like stuff in place actually happening that could be crazy. Like war and all the 4 things they mentioned at the beginning, kind of all like just hitting at once.
Yeah, especially with population, the divisiveness, the war, and what was the last one, like population or something? Or no,
economic.
Yeah, economic, I guess, because now there's like that huge gap in wealth between people.
Yeah, dude. What I'm really wondering is like, okay, if it's gonna collapse, if like society's gonna collapse, is there like one final hurrah that's dope as fuck, like one final puff of the cigar before that happens? Let's watch the rest of the video and then we'll get to that.
I said at the beginning of this video that I would rather be a middle-class worker in today's world than a king from anywhere beyond 150 years ago. If the business as usual model was to play out, then I would rather be a middle-class worker today than a king just 20 years in the future, and that's a genuinely scary thought. So, if you are feeling a bit anxious like I was while reading this study, perhaps it's important to address the criticisms of this model.
I support creators.
A study that basically amounts to someone screaming the world is going to end is naturally going to be met with some cynics, and that was the case for the Limits to Growth report. It's worth noting that a lot of these criticisms have been proven wrong simply by the fact that the data is tracking the predictions in the business as usual model with pretty frightening accuracy. Other critics point out that this study has a very pessimistic way of dealing with human innovation. These critics conceded that, yeah, sure, right now our rate of innovation might not be sufficient to avoid this kind of collapse, but necessity is the mother of invention. As soon as humanity's back is against the proverbial wall, a lot more attention will be placed on researching and investing into technologies that could push us from the doomsday scenario of the business as usual model into the more palatable, comprehensive technology scenario. We can already start to see this taking place with a huge surge in renewable.
Wouldn't that be like saying, like, once shit starts to get really bad, then everybody's gonna start giving a fuck? Is that like what they're saying?
Yeah,
like the most powerful people in the companies will all be like, hold up, all right, let's fix it.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, it's clearly a bad thing now. I don't think they're gonna give a fuck because they're like, well, we'll be dead by the time that shit gets bad. So
yeah, as long as they're good to go,
Well, and also it's like that. I don't know if you ever saw that 2009 movie or 2012 movie with John Cusack where they build arcs and they sell tickets on the arcs for $1 billion.
Oh my god, I like that concept.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, what's living on an arc, It's like, why would you want to just fix it instead of like,
yeah, it's like,
all right, the don't look up scenario where it's like, all right, let's go to another place.
Yeah, I was just about to bring up that fucking movie. Just like, do you want to do the thing where it's like, yeah, we're being interplanetary, but it sucks, and as soon as we get there, like some unknown creature just fucking eats you alive.
Yeah.
Technologies becoming available in the public market. Certainly, there are still some areas where we are lacking, waste management being a huge one, but we are much better than we were even a decade ago. If you want me to tell you what I think will happen, I'm sorry, I'm just going to encourage you to read the two reports yourself. I generally want to be optimistic about the future, but I also realise that my opinion does not carry nearly as much weight as research published by a collection of 17 of the world's top economists and scientists. Research that has been vindicated by another very talented individual. Best case scenario, this was all massively overblown, and we could use this as an excuse to learn about the limits of creating systematic models to predict the future. Worst case scenario? Well, I guess it's time to start learning how to forage for food in the wilderness, which you can start right now with Skillshare. Thanks to Skillshare, you can master virtually any skill you can think of.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I feel like this is definitely like kind of a clickbaity article, clickbaity like headline and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because I feel like pessimism sells. But part of me is like, there's got to be some truth to it, But yeah, I'm like, why doesn't MIT do a follow-up, like a actual study, like the same thing again, to be like, all right, let's see where we're at.
Yeah, like, are they still like, is that an ongoing kind of software that is just, constantly like recomputing all those factors? Like,
I don't know.
And really, like, how well can we predict stuff? I don't know, but we're kind of here to get. I feel like it's just a crazy time in history where that's why things like asking people like what their screen time is and like talking about deep work and talking about digital minimalism or whatever is so like prevalent, because so much of the problem is just like I don't even know, like it's the attention economy. It's like the viral economy,
Yeah, it's like we're wasting our like he said in the video, we're wasting our resources, our technological advances on finding ways to make people just get even more distracted.
Yeah, the smartest people go to work for Google,
Yeah, and it's like, why? And I feel like everybody, I get it, because that drives like money and gets people more money and things like that. But I feel like everybody has the approach of like, well, it's not gonna be my company that solves it, so we'll let somebody else do it, and we'll just keep distracting people.
It's so I wonder like who fucking knows this shit. Like, I feel like if you're a kid growing up now, you know, you have so much access to shit that we didn't have access to growing up, you know? We're like that last generation that couldn't Google everything, like, as a kid. Or if we could, it'd be really slow, you know?
Doing the fucking...
Yeah.
You've got mail.
You've got mail.
On your uncle's laptop.
On your uncle's laptop. That he got at Legoland.
Got at Legoland.
He but I feel like, you know, like, hopefully, like, wouldn't it be great if TikTok ended up saving the world, you know?
Yeah.
Like people are so together and so, like, cross-collaborative on there that the creatives, like, whatever the message needs to be at the time, like, it just spreads. Like, maybe we'll get past that. Maybe we'll be so, at some point, be so tired, we'll reach the peak of, like, just, maybe it'll be so good. Maybe it'll be good for us that our, like, serotonin buttons are completely fried and that our, like, pleasure centers are completely fucked, because then we'll like won't feel that anymore, and we'll be able to think of things from a logical standpoint instead, you know? Like, we'll just get information flowing and we'll be like, well, I'm depressed, but, like, okay, we should do this, you know?
Are you saying, like, it's kind of like everybody's just collectively going to have post-nut clarity?
That
in
is
a way?
Exactly what I'm saying, dude.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Like, it's going to be the universal nut, like the universal orgasm, you know?
Yeah.
Where it's just like everybody.
That's the last puff of the cigar you were talking about, is the collective nut. And then afterwards comes the clarity.
So do you think we've done the last nut already, or do you think we're still like we're like, or do you think we just did a pretty big nut and we've got one more really big one?
I think another nut is coming. I don't think the last nut has been done, because I think we're all going to feel it. And then I think after that nut, it's going to be like a collective rain dance of sorts on TikTok, where we're all going to start doing the same thing, and we're all going to figure out a way to unify through a song or through the ocarina. Everyone's going to play the same notes on the ocarina at the same time. And that's going to cause that's just going to cause, like, oodles of gold to fly out of the ground.
Oh, we find the cheat code.
We find the cheat code. We find the Mayan handbook that gave us a path to another planet that has exponential resources, and there's no aliens there to take them, because we're the only ones living in this galaxy, and it's beautiful.
I mean, I love that. That's beautiful. We could make that, you know, and that's what this podcast is here for, you know. If you find this podcast through these little channels and you come watch the full length episodes, you know that it's hitting on something different. You know that it's not just the same, you know, fucking Logan Paul, Aaron Paul, whatever, like the Paul family, like, you know, we don't have that content. You come here and you chill and you get some good content, baby. You come here, we hang out, we relax, we keep it deep. You know,
you don't want me to put this whole microphone in my mouth like Riley Reid on fucking
right. Exactly. I kind of do, but
yeah, you know, in a way, I would. I you know, I don't have that skill set, but well, I mean, dude, you know, go ahead. They found, there was a picture. I was on Reddit the other day, and I went to the Oddly Terrifying subreddit, and there was a picture on the moon of a door. There's like a door that the rover found. It was either on the moon or Mars. I can't remember which one it was, but it looked like a door, like a passageway into like a cave or something. And I'm like, what the fuck is in there? And why did the rover not go closer to it? You know, if I'm like driving a rover, yeah,
it was like a door made out of moon.
Yeah, like it looked like a door that was shaped from the moon. Like it looked like there was something in there.
Wow.
Like it was
Jesus'
open.
cave.
Yeah. That's where the stone was moved. The Bible has no specific locations because it was the moon.
Wait, why did you bring that up again?
Just aliens, just moon, galaxy.
Yeah.
Okay, no, you know what I'm saying? Maybe in that doorway, that's where the resources are.
Oh, that's right. Right. We could be seconds away from finding the key at any point, so just keep on looking, guys. Keep on striving. Be yourself. That's kind of the takeaway, I guess. I don't know.
Be yourself. The fuck?
What I learned from that is just be yourself, dude.
If there's anything you could take away from this episode, be yourself.
And you know why? Because everyone else is taken.
By themselves.
Dude, but it's kind of funny because I had posted this thing on TikTok, being like, of a clip of us, and I was like, share your screen times. I was like, comment with your screen times, like your average daily, and like what your most used app is, right? And at first I was like, is that like fucking pessimistic to like post on the app, like that is the screen time app, like to be like, hey, you're addicted to this app, like tell us how addicted you are,
Yeah.
I thought that. So for a second I was like, maybe I shouldn't post this, because I was like, am I just being a fucking like narc on TikTok? Like, are people gonna care? Like, am I being a buzzkill?
I guess I see two sides of it.
Yeah, but then I was like, you know what? I'm genuinely curious. I learned my lesson, and I will be myself. And I'm gonna see if anything comes back and post it on here. And so I posted this video. What's your screen time looking like these days? Is it loud enough?
Daily average is 3.5 hours.
If you're at 3.5 hours out of 7 days in the week, 1 day is spent on your phone. We were talking earlier about just doing nothing. When you sit down and like look at your phone, you think you're taking a break. You're actually like fucking hardcore slamming on the serotonin button just by scrolling. You're just running into overdrive. I want to gather our audience. Send us your average screen times. I want to see what people are working with, because it'll break it down per app. Like, what are yours?
Safari.
What are you doing on Safari?
Nothing.
I can get sucked into that shit. It's like sugar. So guys, show what screen times be looking like. What's your screen time? All right, so I posted this kind of screen time video.
Great sound effect for Safari.
We got some fucking, this guy, Ray said last week was 6 hours for me. I asked him what his most used app was. He didn't respond. Trash Baby said mine's 3 hours, with my top app being TikTok. Summer Dean said 7+ hours per day.
Damn, girl.
Dang. Spence
Damn,
said,
girl. Just shame.
Exactly. That screen like Shuggy, I got an average of 3 hours. Top is Insta.
Oh, man.
Dude, my Insta time is so low. I'm not on that app.
Well, you got the block, dude. You got the block on there, right?
That's true. It's 50 minutes a day tops.
Be right here for a minute.
3.5 hours with text messaging being most used from Krista Marie. Interesting.
Wait, I'm not seeing a scroll right now. You gotta scroll it down.
Wait, what are you seeing?
I'm not seeing. I feel like is there another screen open? I feel like you're.
Maybe I think it just stopped. I think it just. Did it scroll now?
No. I'm just seeing Spence. I'm seeing Spence's as the bottom.
It just fucking froze.
Fucking froze.
Fucking Riverside, dude. Okay,
now I see it scrolling.
All right. So Vicente again said 2 hours and 30 minutes. So I just said, nice. That was meant to be a response to Spence.
Shuggy.
Space Elevator 881 says, in the past few weeks, my daily average was 8 to 11 hours.
Oh, wow, my God.
That's awesome, man. What's your most used app? TikTok, about 3 hours per day. Slight false alarm. That was counting my phone and laptop. It's closer to 3 to 5 hours on my phone.
Okay, yeah. I don't even want to count my fucking...
Dude, my computer time?
My computer time. Jesus Christ, dude.
But, we're doing deep stuff on there, usually. 6 hours, but when I was in school, it was like 17. I said, dang,
holy
really
shit.
struck it down. Good job, user A1520905655328 for shrinking that down, boy.
Is that their username or the amount of minutes they spent on their phone?
User for this many minutes.
Yeah. Oh.
Blake Boots with the zinger. Gray says mine's 2 hours with 99% being taken by TikTok.
2 hours is good.
That's pretty good, man. Landon Wesley Hearn said 8 to 9 hours per day. Most use app is Uber driver. Said,
Yeah.
you know, if you take that out of the equation, it's probably way less, you know.
Okay.
Abby said my daily average is 6 hours, 23 minutes with Netflix and TikTok. Talk is my top apps. I don't do Netflix on the phone. That's interesting.
No, I don't either.
Yeah. There have been times where I've tried to put it on there, and I'm like, it's
too tiny.
It's too tiny, you know.
I can't be watching The Queen on The Crown on
You're ruining the sanctity of film.
Margaret Thatcher.
Tate Johnson says, oops, mine is about 4 hours, and my most used app is Snapchat. I got to try to get on. I got to see what Snapchat's been up to recently, because I feel like it's way different than when it came out.
This hours. Yeah, I haven't been on Snapchat in a long time, dude.
It's probably mad different now, no?
Probably.
Trey Dudley. Sick name. 2 hour and 15 minutes with Spotify at number 1. I said, nice. You watch pods on Spotify? He said, like podcasts? I watched Dissect and She. I do want to listen to more, though. So I said, Trey, check us out, dude. Honestly, not even worried. I'll give you a shout on next week's app. Oh, that's right.
Shout.
Shout out Trey Dudley. Sick name. Let's go ahead.
That's a good name.
We'll look at his profile after for the super shout. My average last week was 8 hours, 53 minutes. I said, what's your most used app? That's impressive, dog. TikTok. Dude, TikTok's too good.
TikTok is good. 7 hours.
Good. Once the algorithm starts to give you what you want, you're like, okay, here we go. What's your most used app? Said you putting in those full-time hours, Christian. TikTok, Snap, and Insta. People be social, man. Young boy feet.
I like that, young boy feet.
Young boy feet.
13, holy moly.
Dang, that's full-time screener with a screen side hustle. What's your top 3 most used apps? I usually put on YouTube to fall asleep, but the others are TikTok, Instagram, and Spotify. See, the number doesn't tell the full story, is what we're realizing.
Yeah.
Sen Papito. 9 hours and 57 minutes. Wow. What are your top 3 apps? I said. Daily, it's messages, 1 hour and 29. TikTok, 45. Instagram, 44. Let's get these numbers up, guys. Let's hit 12, 13 per week. I think we could do better. Oops. I'd carry battery pack chargers. What?
No, keep going.
Oh. And listen to music / audiobooks at work and home. So my screen time was up to 15 hours a day. So you have the screen open listening to music? Audiobook off Chrome required the screen be on. I wasn't exactly listening to it legally. I got you.
I see.
You go on YouTube. Or whatever. I listen to ASMR on my phone to help me sleep and leave on autoplay sometimes. So yeah, we kind of factored in, like, because you were on Google Maps, so we kind of took that out. 6 to 10 hours daily. Tanner Gross, pretty good hours, pretty good count, my dude. Good job, proud of you.
Mm-hmm.
Garrett Danger, 2 hours, 4 minute average, pretty good hours. Proud of you, Garrett Danger. TikTok is 2.5 hours over the next app. So that's solid, bro. Solid numbers right there. Didn't tell me what the next app was though. E-Money 23. True. Nice. Good job, E-Money 23. Taryn says 7. Solid. Is TikTok your most used app?
Man.
Didn't respond.
Yeah. The ones that really bite you in the ass are the ones you don't even, you're not looking at your screen, you just have it open, and it's just like it can tack on like 2 or 3 hours.
Don't let the number get you down, guys. And I'm not even saying like more screen time is anything to be ashamed of, because again, like us counting in our computers, that wasn't the point of this whole thing, to be like, you fuckers get off your phone.
No.
Because I get it, but don't, the hours, if you have something that just needs to be on, right, take it out.
What gets you through the day, dude? Sometimes people are working and they need their fucking phones to help them get through that shitty ass shift. I get it.
Yeah, I get it. Okay, so shout out to Trey Dudley, Trey for Mayor. You're getting that shout out on the pod. You got some videos here I see. Killing it. He's got a little goat one. This looks fun. Let's check that. Really good. Really good content, dude. That's
God, I love
sick.
goats, bro.
Goats are so cool.
Goats are the goat.
Is that you? Is that Trey?
That's Trey, bro.
Oh,
He's eating some grapes.
Eating some grapes. Jesus. Let's see where you're going. Where are you driving to? Wow. Congrats. World
What
travelers.
is that? He's throwing
That's
chicken
Trey.
out the window?
Oh, what are they throwing out the window? Let's dissect this. Looks like a sauce packet or something. Wait. Yeah, is that a bag of chips? What is that? Oh, yeah,
Bro,
it looks like
don't
tea
litter,
bags.
dog.
Oh, he's throwing a tea bag out the window. Trey. You
Bro,
think you're going to win
litter,
mayor
dog.
for that? With that? Do you know what kind of harm pollution is going to cause?
Well, I guess if it's just a bag of tea without the plastic on it, and it's just the paper and the
It'll do-
tea,
yeah.
it's, but come on, man.
Come on.
Oh, shit.
So, yeah, thank you guys for participating.
Yeah, that's always interesting to see, and I get it, man. I fucking get it. Sometimes I'm like, thank God it's a little bit lower, and then I'm like, bro, I'm on my computer all day for work. You know what I thought about yesterday? How fucking difficult work must have been for so many jobs without computers. Like just organizing shit in folders, like literal physical folders. How much of a fucking pain in the ass that probably was.
Oh my God, dude. Even that and even like, yeah, because you're, everything is just analog as shit, taking up so much space. You need a whole fucking, you need a library, for all your documents.
Dude, it's crazy. Like, just everything you had to have to just do any sort of job function. You got to call people. It's nuts, man. I don't know. I'm just like, thank God for computers for that.
Right.
Sense.
Yeah. You and I, we're grateful for the tech. We're like, dude, this makes our lives so much easier.
Yeah. I mean, I'm aware that stuff can get out of hand, but
yeah,
fuck, dude. I need it. I wouldn't be able to be here working,
No,
We
exactly.
wouldn't be able to be doing this conversation without tech.
Right. It's busted out. It's busted open, the podcast game for boys like us. I mean, I talk a lot about how, when we were younger, and we were first getting into music production and stuff, it wasn't common and prevalent like it is now. It wasn't like everybody could do it. It was like you had to be kind of a nerd and find shit on forums and now you'll see people post videos on TikTok and they'll be like, bro, how'd you do this edit? And it's like, dude, if you knew what video editing was when we were 10, you're Mr. Beast now. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, dude. Yeah. Just
You're
seeing
ahead
some
of
of
the
the apps they have that you can edit video with, it's unreal. And yeah, just thinking about people that cut film. They used to cut film for films and stuff like that.
Slice
it's so
it.
nuts.
They used to do that with audio too. I don't know if you youngsters knew this, but when they did a transition in audio, it was on literal physical tape. They would
So
cut
crazy.
it and fucking piece it together. But we got to do our new segment.
All right, let's do it because your boy's got to pee.
All right, you want to pee?
No, I'll be fine.
Okay. I got to go get my thing.
All right, well, I'm going to pee while you get it then.
Okay. All
like
right,
coffee.
everybody. We got a new segment for you guys, and it is called Reviewing Things We Found Around the House. And it's gonna be fun. We're gonna find, because we live with our girlfriends now after living together for almost 6 years, and at that point you kind of know everything in the house. Yeah, we're 6 years with your bro, it's a lot of similar shit, you know. We do the same things, have the same hobbies, and now I don't know about Hannah, but I know Jenny likes to buy fun stuff on Amazon. Does Hannah like to buy little things?
She'll occasionally get some shit where I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, it's like some new thing that's so, you know, I'm always finding like little trinkets around the house, or hearing that she's ordered something that, you know, was like a TikTok find, or like a little kind of fun little bopper. So this is called reviewing things we found around the house, where we take a product that does not belong to us, and we kind of give it a review, an honest review, and see what we think of it, and kind of and we'll, you know, you guys can find the products. If it's helpful for you, go take a look. But, you know, we got to do a jingle. You want to sing us a little jingle?
Oh, yeah. I found it around. I found it around my girlfriend's house.
Nice. That was perfect.
Something like that?
Yeah, that was
or
great.
Even short? Would it need to be shorter?
No, that's it.
Okay.
Let's roll with it. It was meant to be. Do you want to do our inaugural one, kind of present what you brought to the table here?
Yeah. So this to me was a bit alien. You know, I wasn't sure what I was looking at first. I know what it is now. But I don't know if you can see this. But we've got some sort of hand massager here, I believe. This is what this is. First, I thought I was looking at a sex toy.
Right. It looks like kind of a... Yeah, it looks like a Japanese...
sorts.
Japanese finger trap or something.
Yeah, I'm not going to fit in there all the way because I'm a bit average, but... because you know what I'm saying. So you can see my eye through there. But I noticed when I did this.
Ooh. It's got little bumps on there.
Yes.
It's textured. So it's
textured,
kind of
text. You see it?
We got a little
like
fidget. We got a little fidget thing.
Little Velcro-y boys. Little Velcro-y boys on there. You can't really see it, but
and what's with the holes? Like, is that a thing? Like, what's up with the holes?
You know, I'm not really sure what's going on with these holes. I don't know if this is you know, if we had a full metal situation going on here, if this is going to like conduct too much heat when I'm rubbing it amongst my hands.
So the camera's not really picking up a lot of detail here, but so are you saying that there's like rows of, it's almost like combed, right? Like spikes?
Yeah. It's like it's almost like Velcro. It's almost like the pointy part of Velcro that might work. Now Hannah told me what this was. I don't know if I should tell you. Would you like to know what it actually is?
You brought it up, and I thought it was a squirrel, and I'm about to find out that it's a chicken.
And people are gonna just be like, "This motherfucker has no idea what a squirrel looks like."
Why don't you go ahead and just run that through your hair a little bit, see how that feels?
That's what I'm saying, dog. It is a hair roller. It's a roller, baby. It's a roller.
Look at that, man.
And that's how you do it, honestly.
So she's been using one roller. She just goes out with a singular curl like that. That's cool.
She's got those bangs, bro.
She's curls.
It's for her
little bangs right there.
She probably has two. I don't know where the other one is, but
I see. She's doing kind of like that.
Yeah. She's been
That's
introducing me to all sorts of new devices, and let me tell you, bro, it's been wonderful.
It's been a blessing, right?
Yeah.
I don't know
yeah, thanks. It's a curler. It's for her curler.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to leave it in.
Maybe you could get curls like me with that thing, dude.
I would hope so, dude. I might have to do it. I might have to do a little bob weave situation, you know? Bob weave, just a bob.
Bob Weave.
Bob Weave.
This is Bob Weave checking in from ESPN.
Sounds like a fucking right-wing sportscaster.
Robert Weave.
I don't get why they need a nail. All right, let's see what you got, bro.
You guys are gonna love this.
Let's see it.
I'm traipsing around the house one day, and I see this on the island in the kitchen. And luckily, I was able to catch the wrapper before it got tossed. So this is essentially like an unboxing as well, you know?
Yeah.
So what we have here is the Thera Ice RX headache relief cap.
Oh,
you can see
shit.
kind of the polar bear here.
He's thinking.
He's thinking, and his head kind of hurts, I guess. It naturally relieves migraines, headaches, and stress. We're talking 360 degrees hot and cold compression. So it's a hat, right? And it blocks your eyes. So I've been meaning to take a nap in this thing, but I put it on the other day, and I was like, well, I'm going to cut that up. I want to pretend like I've never used it before.
Yeah, cut that shit out.
You know, what you do basically is you put this bag in the freezer and for at least 2 hours. And then you put it on your head. And that's going to ice your head. Like, for those of you who be thinking up a storm, kind of getting real, get a good look at that. Get a good look. You know how people do, like, they block the light.
Yeah. The shadow, the focus thing.
Getting there? So, you know, I'm really excited to try this. It's kind of like one of those concepts. It does say patent pending design. And so it's one of those things you'd kind of like think up. It's kind of like the narcolepsy blanket that I have that I'll talk about it at another time. Or, you know, something you'd really get on Shark Tank with, I feel like. So
Yeah.
Right off the top, the bag is nice. This is something I would put in the freezer. It does kind of have that vibe. And the cap itself is a nice black, right? Just smooth black. Is this something that would interest you or Hannah, you think? Like a little cold cap for your headaches?
Yeah. That looks pretty sweet, actually.
Yeah, I know. Check this out, right? So, oh, God.
Yeah, I was going to say, give me a use.
Yeah, and I'm going to have to hope I can hear you after this. Hold on. And there I am.
Ooh, that looks good. How's it feel? Is it tight?
No.
No.
Oh, it's not tight. Wow.
Dude, that
It's
looks like
on
it would actually stay on, too, when you're, like, rolling around and shit.
This honestly feels so good.
Ooh, I like that thing.
You know, they say, like, it's said on there too, like if it's too cold out of the freezer, you can kind of change it up.
Could you put it in the microwave?
Yeah, I think you can do a hot thing too.
That's sick.
Yeah, if you get like a sty or something, you know, if you get conjunctivitis, you can kind of
just get pink eye all over it. Why does my pink eye keep coming back?
Oh my God, dude. Honestly, this is really dope. Like, my eyes feel like fucking marbles right now. Do you get like a hot head?
Yeah, I definitely do it. I definitely know people, you know, they'll do like the wet rag across the head for a headache, but I feel like an ice squeeze would be really nice.
Yeah, exactly. Can you look up like what was I gonna say? Fuck. Forget it. I lost it.
Okay.
But yeah, it feels like my eyes are like marbles. It's very cold. Oh yeah, look up like how much your head like keeps in, how much like heat comes out of your head. Is that a thing you can look up? Because you know they say like, you know, in the winter like wear a hat because a lot of your heat escapes through your head. So I guess that means like your head is pretty hot.
It says lots of people believe that, but do we lose heat through our heads? Lots of people believe what the fuck? Lots of people believe that. Okay. All right, check. Lots of people believe that, but this pearl of motherly wisdom is False. Here's why. The head only represents about 10% of the body's total surface area. So if the head were to lose even 75% of the body heat, it would lose about 40 times as much heat per square inch as every other part of your body. 40 to 45% of body heat is lost through the head and neck due to increased blood flow in comparison with the rest of the body. Combined with wrists and ankles, this can approach 60. These areas need to be covered. Respiration. Air is warmed, then exhaled, resulting in a significant source of heat loss.
So it's kind of true.
Yeah, it's a little bit true. Those are two different articles, so I don't know who to trust, but
God, the misinformation is fucking fucked up.
it's terrible. This is why we're having these sorts of divisiveness, bro.
What's this look like from the outside?
Kind of looks like, those they wear those like ski headbands like the girls have that are really big.
Oh yeah.
It looks like two of those combined, and then you just pulled it right above your nose. And it also looks like if you're about to like be in like on a plane or something, like I'd just bring that on a plane to sleep. That looks fucking sick.
Oh yeah, dude. You go through security, you're like, what's this like condensating pouch? Like that's my ice cap, motherfucker.
That's nothing. Like it's nothing. Don't worry about it.
It's nunya.
It's nothing. It's nothing to you.
It's like, what is this? It's a bag of nunya. Nunya nuts.
Nunya bags, bro.
Dude. You know what?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get one of those.
Yeah, I feel like a useless Marvel hero or something. Like I feel like, he doesn't have the sight, the gift of sight, and he doesn't have that's the sense of sight. So his other things are strengthened, and he's cold.
So you're Daredevil.
Yeah, I'm like more like Dare Yeti,
Dare Iceman.
Yeah. Oh man.
Dare Ice Zer.
You know what's great is it kind of like ices her. It cools off the top. It lost cold fast. I'll tell you that much.
So but you did put it in the freezer pre?
Yeah, for about an hour, an hour and 15.
Okay.
But it feels really good, and like the top of your head, you don't realize how hot your dome ski is until you put this thing on. So actually, I highly recommend.
I think for next time, I'd like for you to try this out in a nap situation and let us know how it felt and if it was a better nap than usual.
All right. So first impressions, how would you out of a 10 scale? How are you saying that curler is?
I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 10 out of 10.
Woo!
10 curlers out of 10 curlers. What a feeling it produces on the hands. A moment on the lips, a lifetime on the hips, as they say. But for this device, a moment in the hair, an hour of curls. So
wow,
that's pretty good. That's pretty good by a female curl standard, as I've been informed. So let's give that a 10 out of 10. Thank you.
All right, and let's hit him with a quick jingle for the curler.
My oh my, my oh my. My hair is straight and I want it to curl, so I'm gonna get this curl right. Pink. Woo! And the pink is the brand of the curl, because it's a Victoria's Secret curler. That's not true, but let's make it think it is for the jingle.
I thought you were gonna say it's like the recording artist Pink.
P exclamation point NK.
What if it was okay? It's the recording artist Pink, and it's called. You know how she does aerial silks?
No.
She does like the aerial silk. Like a big part of her show is she comes down and does the silk gymnastics.
Oh, she's like rolling and shit.
Yeah, she's like suspended in air.
God, that's
she's
so
got the
scary
strong
to me.
core.
Yeah, fucking pink. Sorry, that's kind of how.
So
her vibe
what?
is to
She's still a rock star. But
I didn't say so what.
no, but her song is called "So."
Oh
What.
yeah.
Dude,
Sorry.
your Pink knowledge is alarmingly low.
I don't really like Pink that much. Continue. Never been
No,
a Pink head. More of a Christina Aguilera head.
Christina. Christina Aguilera. Yeah, no, I'm not much of a Pink head either. I just know that she does aerial silks, and her curlers could be called Harial silks.
Ah, good job.
Yes, points.
Points. All right, let's get a review of this, Mr. Dare Ice Pick Man.
Abominable dare man. So, I'm gonna give this. I'm not even gonna be shy about it. I'm giving this 10 out of 10 caps. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 hats. 10 out of 10 snow caps. Those the candy snow caps.
Oh yeah.
10 out of 10 snow caps, baby. This thing fucking rocks.
Hell yeah.
This
It
thing's
looks great. I'm if it gives you a good nap night, I'm buying one.
When your headache takes its strongest form, don't let it take a hold. Put on the cap around your dome. Surround yourself with cold. That's going to be, it's very Baroque. It's,
That's good.
I modulated the key a lot. So it's going to be changing key quite a bit.
Yeah. Well, you know, one of us needed to do that. You're more of the jazz guy than I am,
right.
So yeah, I'm excited, bro. I'm excited to hear about that because it looks great. It looks very cozy.
Yeah. You can buy, whoa, holy cow. Dude, I feel like I just meditated. Hold on.
Dude, you didn't talk the entire time. You just imagined that whole conversation we had. Wow. I'm gonna say the joke. I'm gonna say the joke again.
Okay.
You didn't talk that whole time. We had no conversation. I was just staring at you, and you just thought all that. Worth saying it again.
I feel like a Newman.
I feel like a bi-uncle right now. I feel like a bi-human. I'm like a bi-human right now.
I'm like a bi-human, dude. Wow. So thank you guys, for tuning into the new segment. And so if you like what you hear on the pod, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Follow us on Spotify. Follow us on YouTube. Support us on Patreon. It is currently a charity, and that's okay. We got other shit to do. If you got $5 to spare a month, it would really make us feel good about ourselves. Thank you guys for being here. We're going to make this pod better and better every week. And, next week we're going to talk about the entire Johnny Depp and Amber Heard fiasco. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not making any promises.
Let's watch we're going to do a little research where we watch all 28 days worth of court hearings. It's going to be really great.
And with that said, like we always say, another great pod is in the books. Welcome to the right side of history. Go back and absorb the lore. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I got nothing to say, yeah, I'm just loving the way you're looking over here. Come over here and tell me your name. I can tell by the sound, yeah, when you open your mouth. I hear my new favorite melody, hey. We should both run away. Why do we ever stay in the first place? I can't shake the feeling when you face away from